Hello everyone and good morning, and thanks for joining me on this Saturday morning. Today I want to talk to you about a tool that signals trend changes in advance. This actually is a tool that I developed with ProTrader Strategies that has an uncanny ability oftentimes to tell you if a trend has more room to move to the upside or the downside, or if it's actually running out of momentum, if it's running out of gas. It's a great tool. I'm going to share with you exactly how to apply it today. For example, looking at this chart here in Viacom, obviously the trend has been going straight up. This is an older chart starting at the beginning of this year. But then right here at this point, and I'll show you exactly how this happened, a trend change was determined. This was a warning. Now this tool doesn't tell you to buy or sell. It doesn't tell you the exact tick or how high and what the price will be when the trend changes. It just really gives out a red flag warning, telling you to be very careful, that there's a high probability that a trend change is going to take place. And then we all know what happened coming into March and April of this year. So this is going to be a great way to help you with your trading. You can apply any strategy with this, and if you're long and you are worrying about whether you should stay in or whether the trend is going to change, this can really help you with your trading. And remember, everything you're going to be seeing today is displayed, and all the examples you're going to be seeing come directly from the platform that I developed with ProTrader Strategies as well. This is the PTS Primo Charting Platform. We designed this to make trading simple, to use things that can really help you learn, it can elevate your trading, and basically teach you how to trade. So welcome once again. My name is Steven Primo, President and Founder of Specialist Trading. About 12, 13 years ago, I teamed up with ProTrader Strategies with one goal in mind. That was not to tell traders what to buy or sell, not to tell traders what I thought the market was going to do, or not to tell traders what the best time frame is to trade. Those are all what so-called other educators do. Our goal is simply to teach traders how to trade. And I'm happy to say now that we have students in over 115 countries around the world and in every state in the United States. And that's our goal. That's our mission, to teach traders how to trade on their own so that for the very first time, you can become the person who makes the decisions. You can be in charge of your own trading destiny. You see, it's our belief, our philosophy, that the reason why most traders fail is because you're taking yourself out of the game. You're basically allowing someone or something else to make your trading decisions for you. Think of it. How do you make your trading decisions? Do you have a signal service that spits out buy and sell orders? Did you buy a $10,000 system that tells you what to buy and sell on a nightly basis? Do you go to a trading room or a chat room where you follow what they're buying or selling, or you read a blog that tells you what to buy or sell? This is probably the way 99% of all traders trade. I know, because when I first started trading 44 years ago, I did the same thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. There's no consistency in trading this way. Why? Because you're basically giving your power away. You're letting someone or something else to determine for you what to buy or sell. It's only when you have the education, when someone has taught you the sound fundamental things that have worked over time, that you can make your own trading decision. So this is the service we provide. This is why we developed the platform. This is why ProTrader Strategies and I came together and started Specialist Trading with one goal, simply to teach traders how to trade. And you'll see that today in today's educational presentation, our detail to really trying to educate you so that you can make your own trading decisions. Now, before we begin today, we are required by law to share this with you, so please take a moment to view our disclaimer. I'm going to show you a lot of performance results using this tool that can oftentimes tell you if a trend is running out of steam or not. But please remember that we can in no way guarantee that any of the results I'm about to share with you will be repeated in the future. Also, please remember that all examples, since we are an educational company, all examples are strictly for educational purposes only. Now, a lot of students are always telling me, Steve, I love your webinars. I'm glad I became a student, but you know, you're not there to teach me every day. Is there any way I can get more educational references on a daily basis? Sure. You can follow us on Twitter. There's our handle right there at SPCLST, abbreviation for Specialist Trading. Every day I post different information, anywhere from signals our strategies have generated. I go into a little bit of detail with the restrictions of Twitter. I can't go into a lot of detail, but I go into a little bit of detail as to why the signal may have been generated. And also, there's bits of financial wisdom I've accumulated along the way. Lots of things to educate yourself on a daily basis. So please feel free to follow us on Twitter. Now, I've said this before. It was interesting. About a month or two ago, I had a prospective student contact one of the people at ProTrader Strategy and said, why can't Steve just tell us what to buy or sell in these webinars? Or why can't he just tell us what he thinks the market's going to do or what the perfect time frame is? Remember, once again, we've all been trained that way, myself included. We've all been trained to have someone do the hard work for us. And the entire industry is based on that. The entire industry is based on you purchasing a system that spits out buy and sell orders, on you following some guy on TV that tells you what to buy or what to sell, on you waiting for the earnings or the jobless claims to come out so you can know what to do, so that you can base your decisions off of someone or something else. Now, if that whole system works so well, why is it estimated that 80 to 85% of all traders fail? And when we say fail, we don't mean, well, you have a losing month or a losing week. It means that you literally lose everything you've put away for trading. So obviously, that doesn't work to blindly follow someone. When you take yourself out of the game, you're giving your power away. The reason we don't give signals, the reason we don't do that is because it'd be doing you a disservice. Our only goal as an educator is simply to educate you so that you can make those decisions on your own. Let's say you wanted to learn how to play golf because you were going to be in a golfing tournament and you wanted to catch up, and you hire a coach or a trainer to help you elevate your golf game. Well, that's great. He can teach you different things that you didn't know. He can elevate your game and he can make you a little bit more advanced golfer. But when you have to come time to play in the tournament, he cannot play for you. You have to make your own decisions as to how you're going to play golf. The same way with trading. I can elevate your trading by teaching you things that have shown consistency, sharing with you different ways in which to apply them. But ultimately, the only way to succeed in this business is to make your own trading decisions. So ultimately, as you can see, we want to teach you. We want you to be in charge. That's our goal, and that's our assignment as educators, to simply teach you how to trade. Now, before we begin, I just want to say, I want to take as many questions as possible. I have a lot of slides to share with you, and I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to actually share with you some recent live charts on our platform. But remember, if you have a question, kindly wait till the end of class. I promise I'll get to each and every one of them. Oftentimes, your question will be answered on the very next slide, but if it's not, just wait till the end of class, okay? And I promise I'll get to them then. I see people are already starting to ask questions, so please, if you do have one, just wait till the end. The only question I will answer is this being recorded? Sure it is. We record all of our webinars, so if you have to leave early or if you're having technical issues, you can't see or hear me clearly, don't worry, each and every one of you will be sent a link to this recording, okay? So remember, ask questions at the end, and let's begin today's presentation. I'd like to start out by something my mentor said to me. Remember, when I first started out 44 years ago, my trading career started on the floor of the Pacific Stock Exchange, okay? And someone would say, well, gosh, you were on the floor, you had advanced information, you can see when stocks were about to go up or go down. Gosh, I don't understand why, you needed help. Well, the reason why is because I was probably doing the same thing that the majority of you listening today are doing as well. I was waiting for earnings to come out. We didn't have blogs or we didn't have chat rooms then, but we had newsletters. I subscribed to all of them. I was watching the guys on TV to find out what they thought. I had so many indicators on my screen. It's unbelievable. I don't even know how I made a decision. So everything was based on an outside source giving me a clue what to do. Okay? And here's what my mentors taught me. They said, Steve, the market, not some guy in a chat room or not some guy on TV, the market is always telling you what it wants to do. Your only job as a trader is to listen to that market and then jump on board. You see, so many traders think our job is to predict what the earnings are going to be, or our job is to predict the direction the company wants to go, or our job is to find out what the new administration wants and how it's going to affect the economy and interest rates and earnings and things like that. That's totally false. Because trust me, that's what I thought 44 years ago, and it didn't work. It's so much simpler to listen to the thing you're trading. That's the chart in front of you. If you can understand that concept, you will elevate your trading tremendously. So basically, not some guy on TV or not even some guy on a webinar is telling you what the market wants to do. It's the market itself that's always telling you what it wants to do. So that's what we should be listening to. And then once we figure out what it wants to do, then All our job is simple, to just go in that direction. If the market, through a few simple structures or tools, is telling us it wants to go up, well then great. We apply some type of strategy to the upside. If a market's telling us it wants to go down, then great. We either stay on the sidelines or apply some strategy to go short. Unfortunately, we're always taught the opposite. Hey, the market's up too high, we've got to short it. Oh, the market's down too low, we've got to buy it. That's silly. Just go what the market wants to go. I remember I read a book once where it said, want what the market wants. That's the real key to success in trading. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. This tool that really helps you determine when the trend is about to change is our new custom crosshair feature. I developed this with ProTrader Strategies. It's a great tool. I use it myself, and it can really help you with your trading regardless of what market, regardless of what time frame. It makes absolutely no difference. So for those of you who aren't familiar with crosshairs, here are a standard crosshair tool. All right? They're basically on any platform, anything you may have, they have a crosshair. And it's basically just a vertical and a horizontal line. And the main way people use them is just to define where the price is and to pinpoint areas on the chart, usually where the price is. Well, we're going to edit things a little bit. First of all, we altered this, and so we still have the up and the down, or I should say up and the sideways lines, but we've also added a top diagonal line and a bottom diagonal line. This is going to greatly help us to determine if a trend is running out of steam or not. So these are our custom crosshairs. So usually, as I said, when you have a crosshair tool, you'll put the peak right here in the middle. You'll put that right where price is. Well, we're going to do things a little bit differently. Here are the technique requirements. The first thing you need on your chart is the buy-sell line. Now, before you go out and say, oh, great, so I have to buy some $10,000 indicator. No, you have access to the buy-sell line already. All it is a 50-period simple moving average. We call it the buy-sell line. So, as we see this older chart in Netflix where it went straight up and then straight down, you just want to click on our platform, buy-sell line, click on 50-period simple moving average, and there it is. It appears. Okay, so that's the first requirement. And obviously, the second requirement is we want to apply the custom crosshairs. That's it. There's nothing else you need to do. It's extremely simple to apply this technique. Now, on our platform, once again, you'll only find the custom crosshair. This is a tool we developed, and you won't find it anywhere else. We've had other people try to get us to license it, to have it on their platforms. We only want it for our students at the PTS Primo Charting Platform. So if you look here on the icons where all our different plans and all our different techniques are, it's right here. This is the icon. You simply click that on and you'll see it appear. Now, here's where it's different. We're not going to place this over the price, as you see here. Usually you would place the standard crosshair over the price. What we want to do is place it over the buy-sell line. All right, that's just the first thing you need to know about this. We will never have it on top of price. It will always be right on top of the buy-sell line. But where exactly do we place it? Well, let's go into the rules, and I'll share with you how to apply this. And remember, you can only use this on the PTS Primo Charting Platform. Why? Because it's an educator. It teaches you how to trade, and we made it so simple. There is nothing difficult or complicated on our platform. That's one of my pet peeves I have, because I've used just about every platform you can think of a name. I'm not going to bring up any names, but you all know what they are. Even brokers' platforms, and they're extremely difficult sometimes. Even just to load a chart takes sometimes, hours to figure out how the heck to put it together. We made everything one click away on our platform. There's nothing for you to do other than learn how to trade. Okay, so let's look at some technique examples, and let's go through the rules here of applying this. But please remember, this is not a strategy. As you see here, it says technique. Now, what's the difference? Well, a strategy, first of all, is like all the pieces of the puzzle put together. It tells you exactly where to buy, tells you exactly where to sell, tells you exactly where to exit, tells you exactly where to place your stop, tells you exactly how to place your money management. These are all the important pieces of the puzzle that make up a trading strategy. A technique is different in that it's just one of those pieces of the puzzle. You see, it's not based on having all the things together, all the spokes of the wheel all together. It's just one piece of the puzzle that can help in a specific category, either telling you whether you should stay in, stay out, if you should buy more, but it's really just a helpful tool to have. That's what a technique is, okay? So remember, don't use this and say, well, Steve, where do I buy? Or where do I exit? What do I do here? I can give you different suggestions, but ultimately it's not to be used that way. It's just to be used as an early warning system, okay? Okay, so let's look at this older chart here in PSA. And remember, we're going to start off looking at older charts just for information, for educational purposes, and then I'll share with you some recent charts later on. Let's say where the green circle is, that's where you were lucky enough to buy this, okay, in hindsight. But we didn't know the stock was going to take off like this. So what you would do is, once you had this really nice little rally here, the first thing you do is apply the custom crosshair. So you click it on, and instead of placing it over the price, once again, place it right on top of the last closing high and where it intersects with the buy-sell line, the 50-period moving average. Okay, so this is how we use it. If you were long and you see here that it's making new highs and you're starting to say to yourself, wow, I've got a great trade here, but what do I do? Should I hold on or should I get out? Should I buy more? I mean, what do I do? Well, place the custom crosshair right directly below, as you see here, where the last closing high was on the buy-sell line. And now we want to see where the buy-sell line, the blue line, is in relationship to the lower diagonal line, okay? We're not going to be concerned with the top one, only the lower one right now. So if we see that that blue line is at least below a little bit or even well below, that's telling us that this is a little bit running out of steam or gas that you may want to protect yourself. So as we look at this example right here, it's not below, it's touching, sure, it's kind of hugging the bottom diagonal line, but it's not below. So even though you had a sell-off, this could have been used as a buying opportunity because the custom crosshair was not giving you a warning as to the trend was over. It was basically saying, listen, the trend is still intact. You may have a sell-off here, but rather than get scared and exit, that is probably a great chance to pick up some more shares if you'd like to. And look what happened. We did sell off for a week, and then ultimately 2 weeks later, we're making new highs. So the custom crosshair was really good in helping us not get out too soon. So now it's making brand new highs. So what we want to do is move the custom crosshair to the other closing high right here. And rather than put it on the price, we go directly below. Now we ask ourselves, where is that buy-sell line in relation to the lower diagonal? Is it below? No, it's still kind of just hugging it. So it's not really giving us a clue as to running out of steam yet. So we're okay. If you want to get out, it's up to you. Remember, this is not a system telling you you have to exit or have to stay in. It's up to you. It's just a helpful tool to help you make your own decisions. Let's say you decided to stay in. Well, for the next week, you kind of went sideways to lower, but guess what? Now we're making new highs again. So the custom crosshair help you if you wanted to stay in, okay? Now, as we make new highs here, we want to drag the custom crosshair just directly below on the buy-sell line. So right here, when it made this brand new high, look what happened. Now the custom crosshair and the buy-sell line have a different relationship because the blue buy-sell line is now directly below. So what is that telling us? It's telling us that not necessarily it's going to, top out right here. This is not a top out prediction tool. It's just telling us that you may want to take caution because it looks as if this trend is running out of steam. The momentum may be drying up. So at this point, you could either say, listen, I bought all the way down here. I'm going to take my profits. This is a nice profit and say thank you. Or you could say, you know what, maybe I'll sell half of my position. I'll get out a little bit and let the rest ride. Or what a lot of students do is they say, okay, once I get this first warning, I will place a stop just below each preceding bar and I'll track it up and I'll let the market take me out. So had you used that technique, you would have exited about 4 or 5 days later for a nice little profit right here. Now, this is where students get greedy because remember, you would have purchased this down here and you got out right here towards the top. But what happened the next week? Well, we're making new highs. So at this point, students say, hey, Steve, this thing got me out too quickly. I mean, sure, I made a nice profit, a really nice profit, but look at it, it's making new highs. Well, let's move the custom crosshair all the way over again to that new high. And guess what? Now it's even more pronounced below. So not only is the custom crosshair telling you it's running out of momentum, it's screaming that it's running out of momentum. And so there is no way in the world, if you know how to use this tool correctly, that you should be thinking about buying more, even though people may be saying this stock is taking off, it's going to make new highs. So ultimately, look what happened after that. So one of the things students have to learn is that this is not a predictive tool. It doesn't tell you the exact top. It doesn't tell you exact bottom, but it gives you an early warning to help you make your decision. Maybe you want to sell a portion. Maybe you want to raise your stop. Maybe you want to track it. Maybe you want to sell half the position. It's up to you. But don't you think this is a great tool to help you? And let's say you had said, hey, Steve, boy, this tool is terrible. I got out right here. Look, it's making new highs. How about a month later? Would you have been upset that you got out up here? You would have given back the majority of your profits. Let's look at another example. Here's in BIIB, okay? Once again, let's say you were lucky enough to buy back here. Now, when it made its first run up, you're saying to yourself, wow, I've got a quick profit in 2 or 3 weeks here. Should I get out? Well, let's ask the custom crosshair. When it made this new closing high, you place the stop not on the price bar, but just directly below where it intersects the buy-sell line. And now look for the relationship of the lower diagonal and the blue buy-sell line. Now, in order for this to be some type of a top or running out of steam, we should be below. Is it below? No, it's not. So this is telling you that most likely, even if there's a sell-off, which there was, it should be looked as a buying opportunity, or you may just want to hold on, okay? So for the next 3 weeks, it went lower, but then it was right. It made a brand new closing high. So now if you're bold enough to stay in, well, you just track that and look at the buy-sell line. Now we have clear confirmation that this is a warning. Not telling you that it's topping out today. It's just saying this is a warning that you may want to protect your profits. Let's say you sold a portion of your position. Let's say you moved your stop up. Well, look what happened for the next week. It made a brand new closing high. But now look how far below the buy-sell line is. So instead of kicking yourself and saying, why did I sell here? I could have got some extra money. Well, this is really screaming that it's time to get out, and then look what happened. Ultimately, had you held on, you would have given everything back and a lot more, okay? So this is a great tool, but remember, it's not designed to tell you exactly where to get out. It's not designed to tell you exactly where to purchase. It's simply a tool that really will help you make your decision, because that's the thing. Remember, we're trying to instill in you things that can help you make your own decision. It's not about you saying, well, gosh, Steve, I can't tell you how many emails I get on a daily basis saying, Steve, what do you think of this stock? Should I hold on? Should I get out? What do you think of this stock? Once again, that is a losing mentality, because you should never ask anybody what they think. You should have enough education, enough resources to make your own decision, because that's what's going to make you a successful trader, not asking anyone. Now, sure, when you're learning, ask questions about how to use things and how to apply them. But once you finally know, in other words, there's a difference between asking for help and saying, tell me what to do, and asking to learn so that you can ultimately make your own decision. You don't want to just have someone tell you what to do and take yourself out of the game, okay? Now, let's look at some recent examples. These are live charts, so I'm going to toggle over onto our live charts on the platform. But before we do, remember, once again, I'm going to share with you performance results of some recent charts on our platform. But please remember that we can in no way guarantee that any of the results I'm about to share with you will be repeated in the future. Remember that since we are an educational company, all examples are strictly for educational purposes only. Now, I see in the question and answer box, some people are asking questions. If you happen to join us late, please save the questions till the very end. I promise I'll get to each and every one of them, okay? Okay, so let me just toggle over really quickly. Oops, excuse me, got the wrong one. There we are. Okay, so let's look at some of these charts I got. And the first one is Viacom, because remember, I had talked about this in the presentation in the first slide. So let me show you how this would have been applied. Here is the stock coming in the beginning of the year, and here's the 50-period moving average, okay? So let's say you bought back here, and you're saying, wow, I've got a tremendous profit here. I've made like 100%. Should I hold on? I hear that guy in the chat room says this stock's going to 200. But then I got another guy in the chat room saying, it's so overbought. All the indicators are topping out. You've got to get out. I mean, which one do I listen to? Remember, you shouldn't listen to any of them. Listen to the market. That's our goal as an educator. We're not here to tell you what we think the market's going to do. We're here to teach you how to listen to the market. One of the best tools we have is right here on our platform. As you can see, that's the custom crosshair tool. All you have to do is click that on, and here we have the custom crosshair. Okay, so let's say if you had bought somewhere down here, as we made this new high right here, we go directly below and see where the buy-sell line is. Well, it's kind of hugging that lower diagonal, but it's really not enough for us to say, well, it's running out of steam. Maybe you just want to have caution, but it's not enough to give you an early warning. Now, as we made a brand new closing high right here, look what happened. As we go down, now the blue line is below. So this is giving us a warning, not telling us that, well, we're going to stop right here. I believe it was what, 84 price. We won't go any higher. No, it's just telling us that this is starting to run out of gas. It may top out tomorrow. It may top out next month, but be very careful. This should not be the area where you look to buy. This should be the area where you look to get out. Okay. Now, if you wanted to sell everything, you could have, because you have a nice profit. You bought it way down here at 30. You could have made 50 points. But let's say you wanted to track the trade. So what you would do is place your stop just below every next bar, okay, and just track it up until ultimately, guess what? You would have been stopped right here, okay, roughly about 95. Now, as we see, it went down for that day and then right back up and made a new closing high. And at this point, you're kicking yourself saying, why did I close at 95? Now it's at 100. But look at the blue buy-sell line, okay? It is now really screaming, this is going to run out of steam very soon. Why? Because the blue line is well below the lower diagonal. So at this time, you should really take caution. And as we go forward in time, you see how this could have helped you tremendously? Now, one thing I would say is that you want to give yourself enough data, anywhere from 2 to 3 months prior to the signal. So in other words, you don't just want to look at a chart that has 5 bars on it or 10 bars. You want to go back and have at least 3 months if you're looking at daily bars, or roughly anywhere from 70 to 90 bars, okay? Oh, I should say that's too much. I'm counting the weekends. It should be anywhere from 40 to 60. So 40 to 60 bars is the rule of thumb, because that will help you get a clear idea. If we were only looking at 5 bars, you couldn't get an adequate reading, okay? Let's look at another example here. AMC has been in the news lately, right? Now here we're going back 1 to roughly 3 months. This is roughly about 60 bars. Now nothing was happening, and then the stock took out off this last week. When it made this high, I believe Thursday, let's see where the custom crosshair. Right here, it is telling us that this may be running out of momentum. It's not telling you that it's topping out. It's telling you that to be careful if you're long. At this point, this is not the best of times to think about buying. This may be a time just to wait, because most likely it's a little bit overextended. And then look what happened the next day. It opened higher, but then it sold off. And this was on Friday. As we look at that, we could look at that and say, yes, it's still, it hasn't recorrected itself. The blue line is still below. So this is just something to take into consideration. We're not telling you to sell. We're not telling you to buy. We're just giving you information of what this tool is saying. Let's look at skills, SKLZ, okay? As we see here, going back to last year, we have a nice run up, and now we start to get really extended. And the way you use this is you want to see price bars, whether it's a 15-minute time frame or a daily bar, well either above or below the buy-sell line, because that's telling you if it's overextended or not, if it's running out of steam or not. So as we see here, this was in February. That's where we had this really big run up. Now, if we see we have a new closing high, let's go directly down below. And we see right there, yes, even though it's not well pronounced below that lower diagonal, it is below. So that's a warning, okay? Right here in the first week of February, we had a warning to either get out or to be very careful of this. And look what happened to the stock. Do you see how it ran out of steam? Okay, this is what we're trying to share with you to help you make your decision, so that many times you don't have to say, like maybe you've said in the past, gosh, I had a great trade, I had a great profit, I held on too long and I gave it all back. Now I have a loss. This tool can help you in those scenarios. Now it also works the opposite way, okay? Here's an example to the downside. Remember, you want to go back and see that price is really well extended either to the upside or to the downside, because that's when price has really trended very strongly. So this tool helps you determine if that trend is about to end or not, or to change. So you need to see price bars that are well below or well above the 50-period moving average. And then secondly, you need to have about 40 to 60 bars back, okay? All right, so we have both requirements here. So let's look and see what happened here. When we made this new closing low, what you want to do is bring your custom crosshair all the way up. And as we can see, it really wasn't giving us a lot of information. Sure, it was a little bit above, but it wasn't enough to give us a really big warning. Now, 3-4 days later, we made a new closing low. So now let's see what it says here. We bring it all the way up, and now it's a little bit more pronounced. It's above. So when you're looking for a bottom or some type of trend change to the bottom side, what you want is for that blue 50-period moving average to be above the top diagonal line. And here you can see it's well pronounced that it is above. So this was telling you, if you were short Pepsi, this was telling you, hey, maybe I want to cover my short. Or maybe I want to, if I had 5 options, maybe I want to sell some of them, the puts, and stay just a couple. It's up to you, but it's a great warning system because look what happened. This was in March, and look how the trend changed after that. Okay, do you see how that could have helped you tremendously? Here's another example in ATR. Okay, this is coming into May, this last month. We're below, now we start to be above the buy-sell line, and now we start to take off. The first requirement is we want to see price well extended above the 50, and it is. The second requirement is we want to go back about 3 months or 60 bars, and we do. So now we see that new closing high, and now we go down to the 50-period moving average. Is it giving us a sign? Yes, it is. It's saying that this most likely ran out of steam in the first week of May, ATR. So if you were long, you may have wanted to protect yourself. Look what happened after that. Okay? Coming into this last week. You see how valuable this tool is, how it can really help you? Here's an example in gold. Now, there really is nothing happening here in terms of, I can't show you what happened in the future because this chart is up to date. This is what happened Friday. But this is a chart in gold, GLD, that's the ETF that represents gold. Okay, so if you want to be buying gold, and now you're thinking to yourself, well, I think there's going to be inflation. That broker told me that I should buy gold because it's really going to take off. And, I listened to the economic news and, because of the economy, I want to protect myself with some gold. Well, listen, we're not telling you what to do and what not to do. I'm just pointing out, you see how all your decisions are based off of someone or something else telling you what to do. This is the way we're trained. This is why 85% of all traders fail. It's because you're giving your power away. You're not listening to the chart in front of you. You're listening to some broker. You're listening to some guy on TV. Listen to the chart, okay? And how do we do that? Well, in this example, we're looking at the custom crosshair. Now, this is updated up until Friday. Now, price, first of all, is well extended above the buy-sell line. So that's the first requirement. Then we want to go back about 3 months, back to March, which we did. So as we made this new closing high here on Friday, let's see if gold is perhaps running out of steam. As we drop the custom crosshair, what do we see? It's not really well pronounced, but it is below the lower diagonal. So this is not telling you that you should sell gold. This is not telling you that gold's going to top out tomorrow or Monday. It's just telling you that if you're long gold, you may want to move your stop up a little bit because it's gone up. Basically, this stock has gone up from roughly 150 up to 180 in just the last 3-4 months. So you may want to protect yourself and lock in some profits. Or if you're thinking about purchasing gold here, you may want to hold off. It's up to you. But this happened just Friday. So this is just a setup. Are we telling you what to do? Absolutely not. It's your choice. Remember, as we've said throughout this presentation, it's not our job as an educator to tell you what to do. It's our job as an educator to teach you things that can help you make your own decision. Let's look at CVS, okay? Here's another one that's tremendously extended above the 50, and we go back about 3 months once again. So all conditions are in place. Let's see what happened here. As we made this new closing high, if we drop down, we see here that we were getting an early warning that this may be running out of steam to the upside. But look what happened. It even went higher, okay? This was in the middle of May. And now let's look and see what happened on that last closing high there. Well, now it's pretty much really pronounced that it's well below the lower diagonal. So if you didn't get out at this first closing high, most likely this is a big warning to get out here because look what happened after that. This is just coming into this past week. So even though it's back to where it was, it's not a guarantee that it's going to go lower. It's not a guarantee it's going to go higher. It was just perfectly telling you that this was running out of steam. As we look at HBQ, That's HP Technology. We see here that it's made a new closing high here in the first week in May, last month, a month ago. And as we drop down, it was giving us a little sign that maybe it was running out of steam. You see how the bottom blue line is directly below? And look how far below it goes, all this way back all the way back there. If we put it back up here again, it's been below it for a long time. So look what happened to this stock, okay? That was coming into this past week. You think this tool could have helped you? Lastly, one more current chart. This is up to Friday, as we see on the 4th. This is just something, the stock I was looking at, Dillard's. It really took off this past week, made a brand new high. We're looking back about 3 months. When it made this new closing high, if we drop the tool down, it gave us a little bit of warning. We can see where that blue line is below. But then as we go to the close on Friday, it's given us a little bit more warning. So even though this is not a signal, we're not telling you to sell this. If you were long this, the tool is telling you to take caution. That's all. If you have shares of this, you may want to move your stop up. You may want to exit a portion of them, or you can stay long. It's up to you. But either way, this is just a tool giving you a warning. That's all, okay? Now, let's go back to the presentation as I toggle back. And let's recap what I taught you today, okay? Remember, not some guy on TV, not some chat room or some blog, not an earnings report or not a jobless claim, not the economy, not even some guy on a webinar you go to on a Saturday morning. The market is always telling you what it wants to do. Unfortunately, we're all trained never to listen to the market. We're never taught that. We're always trained to listen to the earnings. We're trained to look at the volume. We're trained to listen to some guy on TV. But here I am telling you that you should only listen to one thing, the market. Why? Because it tells you what it wants to do. So once you know what it wants to do, your only job as a trader is to listen and then jump on board the direction it wants to go. That's it. There's nothing you have to figure out, calculate. There's no earnings you have to follow. There's no CEO you have to look at. There's no direction of the company. It makes no difference. I looked at those things 44 years ago, and I'm living proof that it didn't work. So if it didn't work for me 44 years ago, all the things that we're taught that are supposed to work, if it didn't work for me, I don't think it's about to miraculously start working tomorrow, okay? So I'm just trying to help you really elevate your trading and make it as simple as possible. Remember, let's go over this crosshair technique. This is not a full-fledged strategy. This is the biggest problem a lot of my students have. They say, Steve, well, okay, I got a great signal, and do I sell here or should I be buying? Remember, that's what a strategy does. It tells you where to buy, where to sell. This is just a warning system, okay? Now, you can apply it to up and down trending markets to tell you if the trend is about to change. It doesn't have to be for stocks or markets that are going up. And it can be any market. It can be futures, currency pairs, Bitcoin. It makes absolutely no difference. Now, I personally like to apply this to higher priced markets, okay? Because if you're trading stocks, that's where you get the best momentum. If you're trading this on a $1 stock or a 50-cent stock, then you're not going to get that big swing moves, or the trend may change, and it's not that big of a move relative. So it's better with a higher priced markets. And lastly, results may take a few attempts, okay? This is all part of the warning. As I showed you in a number of examples, it gave us a warning telling you that it was running out of momentum, and it still continued to go up. But if you went further in the future, most likely it was even better in your direction, going the opposite way, in other words. So it would have been in your advantage to get out no matter what, even if it took 1 or 2 attempts. So ask yourself, do you think this tool can help your trading throughout 2021? We only have roughly about half the year left, okay? In about 3 weeks, it'll just be half the year. Could this help your trading? Go back and look at your last 10, 20 trades. Could this have helped you? All right, we have a great offer for all of you today, taking time out of your Saturday to listen to me teach you this great tool, okay? We're going to offer you our Trend Trading Bootcamp. Now, this is a great course because it comes not only with a bootcamp telling you different ways to trade the trend, different ways to find out what the trend is, different ways to apply your own personal strategy, but it also consists of a trading strategy. This is pullback method number 1. This is an actual full-fledged strategy where we give you the entries, the exits, the stop placement, all the different pieces of the puzzle to elevate your trading, okay? You can apply this strategy to any market, any time frame, and any direction. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to throw in 10 Saturday bonuses, okay? You're going to get my complete entry course. Goes into detail, different ways to enter any method. My complete exit course, the same thing. It's upwards of 7 different ways to exit anything. And my complete stop placement course. This is a great, great way to protect yourself in trades and to how to elevate your trading by applying different stop techniques. You're going to get our buy-sell line scanner. That's the scanner that can tell you whether price is above the buy-sell line or below it. You're going to get the top-bottom 25% scanner, another tool you'll find only on our platform that tells you the short-term trend through a pattern recognition. You'll also get strategy number 1 scanner on our charts, on the PTS Primo chart. So what this does is it'll scan on a nightly basis for signals. So you don't have to go searching through 5,000 stocks the way I did when I first started trading. You'll be able to, with one click, scan any market. And you can apply this, once again, to currency pairs, to Bitcoin, to futures, to the NASDAQ, to Asian markets, to Canadian markets, European markets, and we give you the data, and you can just scan on a nightly basis. It takes about 2 minutes to do, okay? You'll also get a multi-scanner where you can scan for multiple things at once if you like to combine different tools and different methods, okay? You'll also get auto-click smart charts, entries, and exit tools. This is one click on our platform where it automatically tells you where to enter, automatically tells you where to exit. This is using one of our methods, okay? Now you also get, if you'd like to, get the add-ons for strategy number 1 for different platforms. In other words, the add-on is something you download onto your platform, your current platform, like TradeStation, Metastock, MT4, Sierra Charts, NinjaTrader, and it'll automatically show you the up and down arrows for that particular strategy. And lastly, bonus number 10, this all comes with a 6 months free subscription to the PTS Primo Charting Platform. As you see in the right-hand column, these are the values of all these different bonuses, okay? You're going to get thousands and thousands included in the 10 Saturday bonuses. Now remember, everything comes on the platform which we shared with you. You get all of these things, and one of the best things, as we said, are the auto-generated exit levels. This is just one of the techniques we teach you, so you know what they're based off of, but all you have to do is click the button on our platform. For example, here's a strategy number 1 buy signal, an OLED. All right, with one click, you see here that it auto-generated 2 exit levels for you to choose from. Now, whichever one you decided would have been a good decision because you would have had a nice profit. And look what happened after that. These exit levels have an uncanny ability to get you out before the trend changes. So that's all included on the platform, okay? So let's break this down, okay? You're going to get the Trend Trading Bootcamp course. You're going to get strategy number 1, the 10 bonuses, along with 6 months of the platform all thrown in. Now, if you purchase this separately, these are tremendously deals that can really help you. But if you purchase them separately, it would cost you over $8,400, all right? That's a lot of money, and we don't want anyone to spend that much just off the bat. So what we want to do is have a tremendous discount. In fact, we're going to discount this down to only $297. You're going to save over $8,100. Think of it. You're getting all these things that have accumulated that I have taken over 44 years, and I've accumulated all that time. You're going to get for less than $300, okay? This is a great, great offer. It's a great way to get acquainted with us. It's a great way to start using all these tools, but this is for a limited time only. $297. Most of you, I can almost, say with confidence that most of you have lost more than that this past month trading, right? That's okay. Why not invest in yourself? Instead of investing in some $10,000 system, you have no idea what it's based off of. You have no idea why you purchased it. Why not take that same time to invest in yourself? Teach yourself how to trade so you can make your own trading decisions, all for less than $300. You owe it to yourself to take your trading to the next level. Here's how to take advantage of this great offer, okay? I remember I said I designed and developed the platform and all the strategy courses with Pro Trader Strategies. They're my sister site. So they're in charge of taking orders. If you'd like to become a student of mine, and remember, contact Pro Trader Strategies. You can email them at trading@protraderstrategies.com. If you want to sign up right away, the easiest and simplest way to do this is to call them directly at area code 310-598-6677. They have trading consultants manning the phones right now. They would be more than happy to answer any question concerning price, concerning the platforms or the strategy or tech support. They're in charge of all that. And if you'd like to take care of this yourself and do it online, that's the link below. You see that Pro Trader Strategies link, but that's not a live link. So they've just posted a live link in the chat box. If you want to go to the chat box on the GoToWebinar column, you see right there, just click that live link on and it will take you right to the sign up page and the information page. Now, I'm going to leave all of this information up here for you to copy if you like. The phone number, I would strongly recommend giving them a call if you have questions. There's absolutely no obligation. But I'll leave this up here, and I promised I would take any questions at the end. So if you have any questions, now is the time to ask. Just go to the question and answer box on the GoToWebinar column, type in whatever you're interested in, and I will be there to answer it, okay? Someone is asking, when you say you will be I will be a student of yours, does this mean you have live classes? Well, let me explain. All of these courses are all videos, and they're all online courses that I've recorded for you and taken the time out to show you all these different things. And we know a lot of students say, but yeah, but what happens if I have questions? I mean, the last course I took, I would email a question, and the next thing I wouldn't hear back for another month. Well, we do things a little bit differently here. Since we're a small independent company, you get my personal email address. It doesn't go to someone in an office. It doesn't go to some intern. Your question actually goes directly to me because you have my email address, and I usually answer them within the next 24 hours. That's something we try to pride ourselves with. If you don't believe it, look at some of our testimonials online. We really have a great support system, and we really want to help you because we're an educator. It doesn't do us any good if we just give you the information and then we leave you in the dark and not answer your questions. So you, as your mentor, you will get my personal email address. You can contact me whenever you'd like, and I will answer questions. Someone is asking, does that run out of time? I'm not sure what you mean by run out of time. Oh, I see. Is that a limited time only? No. What that is once you sign up for any course of mine, you're a student of mine for life. So as long as I'm trading and still doing this, you can always ask me questions. So if it's a year or two from now, you're still asking me questions about these strategies or the methods, that's fine. I will answer them to the best of my ability, okay? So you're always going to be a student of mine, okay? Does this work on intraday trading? Yes, it does. Now, many of you know, and I make no secret about this, my main market of choice is the E-mini futures. That's what I've been trading for years, and so I like to trade intraday. Anywhere from tick charts to 5-minute charts, I'll trade the E-mini futures. Now, I still use this, the custom crosshair, and all of our different methods. Even use strategy number 1 on intraday trading. So yes, all of the things we teach you and supply for you and provide can be applied to any market, any time frame, and any direction. You see, we don't just want to say, well, okay, you purchased this for $300, and then you say, well, Steve, I want to try and apply this to currency pairs. And I say, well, this doesn't work for currency pairs, but we do have a currency pair model where it costs you $500. See, that's what a lot of companies do to upsell you. We don't believe in that. We want you to be able to use this for any market or time frame. You don't have to buy it 2 or 3 times. So that's why this is such a great offer for $297. Can't think of a better way to become acquainted with us if you're not familiar with our teaching, and a better way to elevate your trading. Remember, everything on the platform is very innovative and new. You won't find most of the things on the platform anywhere else because there's things that I've accumulated from my career starting on the floor of the stock exchange. And a lot of those things people have never heard of, such as the custom crosshair, such as PET-D, such as buy-sell line. So we have all of these things here that you won't find on any platform. And for less than $300, I can't think of a better way to use it. So remember, once again, I would strongly suggest calling Pro Trader Strategies. If you have any questions, just contact them right now at 310-598-6677. There is absolutely no obligation. They're not going to try and sell you anything. They would give you any more information about other courses or other pricing or the tech support with the platform, okay? Okay, if we're all out of questions, I just want to thank you for taking time out of your Saturday. I hope you learned something, especially about our philosophy, about how we want to teach you, how we want to put the power back in your hands. We're not here to tell you what to do. We're here to teach you how to trade. That's our goal, and that's our only mission, to help you elevate your trading by you becoming in charge of your trading destiny for the very first time. Once you do that, it's been my experience that the only traders that are consistent are the ones that make their own trading decision. So hopefully we'll be able to get you there with all the information and tools and techniques we provide. As we take one last look at our disclaimer, I just want to say once again, thanks for taking time out of your Saturday. I hope you have a great weekend. Most especially, I look forward to all of you becoming students of mine in the Trend Trading Bootcamp course. Thanks so much for attending. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.